Hello, my friends, and welcome to Yoga by the Moon. My name is Michelle, and I'm here to guide you through a first quarter moon yoga practice for the first quarter moon for April 23rd of 2026. With first quarter moons, we start to take actionable steps towards the intentions and goals that we planted for the new moon prior. And this previous new moon was the start of the zodiac year. So we have lots of intentions, not just for this lunar cycle, but for the whole year. So we're really working on moving forward with those plans. As the first quarter moon unfolds, obstacles and challenges along the way start to show themselves. And this particular first quarter moon is positioned in Leo, which is a fiery, creative sign. And its creative energy really works with us. And this fiery energy works with us so that we can work on taking actionable steps and finding ways to overcome these obstacles, to work around them. So it's really a nice little marrying between the first quarter moon and that particular zodiac sign. We are now entering the season of Taurus also, which is a very grounded earth sign. So what Taurus brings to the first quarter moon is it grounds us in the present reality so we can focus on tangible, actionable steps. And it helps us really keep us committed to the path forward. It brings us into reality and it says, hey, this is the reality. We don't want to get too lost in the whimsy of what ifs and the realm of the dreams. We want to stay here in reality as we work towards those dreams. This is how we can make that unfold for us. And that creative energy of Leo, allowing us to move forward and work around those obstacles while grounding us in the energy of Taurus, really helps that path towards abundance start to take place. So if you'll join me on the mat, we're going to do a little bit of grounding, a little bit of fiery energy, and a lot of forward momentum to work with the energy of this particular moon phase. So we're going to begin seated on our mats. You'll see that I have a couple of blocks. You may want some blocks handy. You don't need them. I will guide you as always to work without them if you don't want to use them, or if you don't have blocks. If you don't have blocks, but you do want some sort of a prop, you're welcome to use some books or even some pillows or something. You might want to just bring the earth up to you in a couple of the poses that we do down the line. But as I said, to begin, we're just going to sit in a comfortable cross-legged seat on our mats, sitting up tall, shoulders back and down. And to begin for our breath work, we're going to use lion's breath. And now this particular breath work really marries the idea of Leo, the lion, and Taurus, because it's a very fiery breath practice, which Leo is a fire sign. So we have that fiery element there. Leo is symbolized by a lion. So it is literally like Leo's breath work in that particular regard. But it also is a very grounding breath. So while it's energizing, it still also grounds us at the same time. So it brings that element of Taurus in there as well. And it gives us that sort of clear-headedness so that we can really work forward in that forward momentum of the first quarter moon with a level head. So we can move forward with clear thinking in the path ahead of us without any sort of all those obstacles start to kind of disappear, or we find ways to get through them with this clear head. So this is a beautiful breath work to do all of those things. You can just keep your hands wherever feels right for you. Like I said, shoulders back and down. We're going to do 5 rounds together. You can inhale deeply through the nose. And as you exhale, you're going to exhale out the mouth, open mouth, tongue out with a nice audible like you're roaring like a lion almost. And I know it looks a little silly. You might even feel a little silly doing it, but I promise you, you will feel energized and it feels good to do. So I hope you can release your inhibitions and join me. If not, it's perfectly good yoga to watch me do this and to laugh at me or laugh with me if you wish. That is perfectly fine as well. But let's do 5 rounds of lion's breath together. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, tongue out. Again, inhale and out. In and out. 2 more just like that. Take a deep breath in. Tongue out. Last one in. And roar that out. Allow your breath to return to normal. Keeping those shoulders back and down. If your eyes closed for a little bit or had a soft gaze, just allow them to arrive back into this moment and into your space. And then on a deep breath in, we're going to raise our right arm to the sky. Exhale, bring your right hand to your left knee. Spin your left hand and tent it up behind your spine as you twist to the left and look over that left shoulder. Easy seat twist. Just bringing some movement in our spine. Every exhale, imagine you're wringing every little bit out. One more deep breath like this. On an exhale, come back to center. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Exhale, left hand to right knee. Right arm comes behind. Twist and turn to look over that right shoulder. Now. Trying to create some space before we make that fire energy. Ground us in our space before we move. One more deep breath in. On an exhale, come back to center. And as you're ready, in your own time, your own way, make your way to hands and knees, tabletop position. Knees come below the hips, hands beneath the shoulders, a nice neutral spine, and on an inhale, drop that belly to the mat, towards the mat, and look up to the ceiling. Exhale, rounding that spine towards the ceiling and looking down. Take a few rounds of cat and cow in your own breath, your own time, articulating through that spine in a different way now. Grounding us before we move. Grounding before fire allows us that presence of mind. It allows that realism to take hold of Taurus and brings us to possibilities of reality. Whenever you are ready, just make your way back to neutral tabletop. Take a deep breath in. And on a breath out, we're going to bend that right knee and bring your right foot towards your right heel towards your glute. Swing that left arm behind to catch the inside of that right foot, pulling that foot closer to your glute and looking over your left shoulder in a gentle quad stretch variation. One more breath here. Release that foot, come back to a neutral tabletop, and then bring that left heel towards your glute, bringing your right hand to the inside of that left foot, pulling that left foot towards your glute even more as you look over that right shoulder now. As I said, gentle, brief quad stretch, just kind of limbering up through our limbs. And make your way back to neutral tabletop once again. On an inhale, we're going to raise our left arm parallel to our spine, and then raise your right leg also parallel in a spinal balance. Exhale, bring hand and leg down. Inhale, right arm now comes parallel and left leg comes parallel to our spine. In spinal balance. Exhale, down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, down. 2 more each side. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, down. Last one. Inhale, right arm, left leg. And exhale, down. Walk your hands about 1 hand length up a little bit more. Curl those toes and lift your knees up to high plank. Inhale that right foot up off the mat. Exhale, bring your knee toward your nose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, right foot down. Inhale, left leg, foot off the mat now. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straighten. 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 Exhale, left foot down. Last breath in high plank as we build that heat now. Exhale, lift those hips to the sky. Bring those heels towards the mat as close as they can get. Nice upside down V in a well-deserved downward dog. Take a moment. If you wish to pedal your heels, please do. If you just want to take a moment to breathe here in down dog. If you want to take a moment just breathing in child's pose, you are welcome to. Reset as we build that heat now. Working on that momentum. As we take these moments, this is about when you're going to want to have those blocks available and handy, so you can take your time to get those ready if you did not before. When you're ready, arrive in downward dog with me here in the mat. Then inhale, lift that left or that right leg to the sky. Exhale, bend the right knee and twist that heel towards the left side of the mat, opening that hip in a nice sort of scorpion variation in downward dog. One more breath here, holding it with that hip opener. Exhale, center that leg once again, leg high. Exhale as many steps as you need to get there. Right foot comes between your hands. Staying up on that left heel, rise on up. Arms high, high lunge. Once again, grounding while building heat at the same time in this posture. Nice forward momentum posture. So this really brings in all of those elements of the fire of Leo, the grounding of Taurus, and the forward momentum of the first quarter moon. Remember those intentions on your inhale. Exhale, left arm comes forward, right arm comes back as you twist and look to the right side in a high lunge twist or revolved high lunge. Building that heat in our bellies, stirring that fiery energy. One more breath in here. On an exhale, come back to center, facing those hips towards the front. Step that left foot up just a little bit as you straighten through your right leg. So your hips are square to the front, both legs are straight. Now this is where you might want those blocks handy to frame around your right foot and place your hands on those blocks or on the mat. If you have no blocks handy but you don't want to reach the mat, you're welcome to keep them on top of your shin. Just don't press down on your knee. In pyramid pose. Grounding us once again. Finding that firm, stable center of Taurus. Breathing deep. One more breath here. You can keep your hands right on those blocks, or if you need to softly bend through that right knee to actually reach the floor, you're welcome to do that as well. But shift your weight into that right foot. And as you're ready, on an exhale, lift that left foot off the mat in standing splits. We will not stay in this balance pose for very long. Just kind of launching off with that forward momentum of the first quarter moon. One more breath in here. On an exhale, left foot meets the right in forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands and step, hop, or jump back to plank. Shift that weight forward. Chaturanga. Press on up to upward facing dog. And then lift those hips high. Downward facing dog. Take a well-earned breath here. And then on your next inhale, lift that left leg to the sky. Exhale, bend that left heel towards your glute. And then open that right foot towards the right side of the mat, opening through that left hip now. Strong posture, building that fire. One more breath in. Exhale, square those hips once again, straightening that left leg. Exhale, as many steps as you need to get there. Left foot comes between the hands. Staying up off that right heel as you rise on up. Arms high. High lunge. Breathe deep, looking forward to the path ahead. Using that Leo energy to overcome any obstacles in our way. One more breath here. On an exhale, right hand comes forward, left hand comes back as you look towards the left side. Revolved high lunge. Once again, finding that creative way forward with that fiery energy. One more breath in here. On an exhale, step that right foot forward, straightening through that left leg, keeping those hips square to the front. If you need those blocks handy, you may grab them, or if you wish, you may just rest your hands on your shin, or you may even reach all the way to the floor. Keep a soft bend in that left knee. Don't lock it out, but get a nice stretch in that left hamstring as we ground ourselves. Breathing deeply. One more breath in here. On an exhale, as I said, if you were up on those blocks, you may stay there if you wish, or find a way to bring your hands to the mat, shifting your weight into that left foot, and then launching up off that right in standing splits. One more breath in here. On an exhale, right foot meets the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, slowly rise all the way up. Sweeping those arms up overhead. Clasping your hands together. Bringing them down through the center. At your heart. Find a moment here in Tadasana, mountain pose, grounding yourself in this space, firmly planting your roots as you press on up and contemplate the journey so far, the journey ahead. One more moment here in mountain. On an exhale, we're going to sit those hips back like you're sitting in a chair, keeping those hands at prayer at your heart, shoulders back and down. On an inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, left elbow comes towards your right knee as you twist towards the right side in a chair twist. Once again, using that creative energy of Leo. One more breath in here. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, reset. Exhale, right elbow to left knee as you look towards the left side now. Breathing deep, building heat. One more breath in here. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, and then exhale. Sweep those hands up overhead. Back down through heart center. Mountain pose. Resetting. Building that heat and that creative pathway with Leo. And turning around and balancing that with that grounding energy of Taurus. Breathe in and out. Gonna move those blocks a little bit out of the way here for you so you can see me a little bit better. When you're ready, we're gonna shift our weight into that right foot. And then when you're ready, you're gonna lift up off that left foot. And maybe you just wanna rest your left heel on that right ankle without actually picking the whole foot up off the mat. Maybe you want to bring the left sole of your foot to the inner part of your right shin. Or maybe you grab that left foot, press the sole into the inner part of your right thigh. Find your version of tree pose, grounding us with that energy of Taurus. Just do not press the sole of your foot into your knee. That will do some damage that we do not wish to do. No harm here. Firmly rooting in that right foot, finding a focal point, a drishti, to help you balance. One more breath here, grounding with Taurus. Then on an exhale, move that left foot off your leg and then launch it behind as you tip forward, flying forward with that forward momentum of the first quarter moon in airplane pose. One more deep breath here, and then as you're ready, bring that left foot to meet the right on the mat. I kind of fell out of it just a fraction of a second too early. I apologize for that, but don't you worry. If you fall out of your pose, your yoga mat will catch you. No judgments here. It is called a yoga practice, not a yoga perfect. And Lord knows I am far from perfect. So find your center once again. Find your humor if need be. Or find humor in me. That's also, as I said, good yoga. Come back to center, standing balanced on both feet. And as you're ready, shifting that weight into that left foot now. Find your version of tree as you're ready to lift up off that right foot, bringing the sole of the right foot either to that ankle, shin, or thigh, grounding that left foot into the earth, shoulders back and down, focal point. rooting into the earth with the ultimate Taurus pose here. In tree, the symbol of the earth, of Mother Gaia, of the groundedness of Taurus. One more breath in tree. And as you exhale, bring that left foot or that right foot behind you, arms back as you launch forward with the first quarter moon and fly in airplane. One more breath in here. On an exhale, right foot meets the left. Shake out your legs if you need to. Find that center. Maybe a little buoyancy, groundedness. As you're ready, we're going to turn our toes out, keeping our heels under our hip points. Toes pointed out. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands come down through heart center as we sink down into our hips towards the mat. Pressing our hands in prayer, our elbows opening up those legs here in Malasana squat. If this is not comfortable for you and your hips, or it's not accessible, you're welcome to use one of your blocks to slide on under those hips. Take a pillow or a book if need be, or even a rolled up blanket or towel if that's not comfortable. But if it is accessible and comfortable, or at least not painfully uncomfortable, take a moment here grounding in Malasana pose here in this yogi squat, connecting us to the earth as we open our hips, ground ourselves. One more breath in here. On an exhale, we're all going to sit on our bums, keeping our knees bent forward. Make sure to roll those shoulders back and down, nice tall spine. And bring your arms forward in front of you, tilting back onto your hip points. You're welcome to keep your feet down or maybe lightly up on your toes, but if you're ready, you may bend your knees and lift your feet off the floor here in boat pose. Continuing to build a little bit more fire in that belly, that forward momentum, that fiery energy of Leo. One more breath in here. And as you exhale, we're going to slowly as you can, lowering those legs towards the mat as you lower your spine towards the mat as well, taking as long as you possibly can before you finally release all the way to the mat. Take a breath here as you lay down just for a moment. And then on an exhale, hands come behind your head, interlacing those fingers behind your head, lifting your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Exhale, bend those knees in a 90-degree angle from your hips, parallel to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale as you straighten through that left knee, bending into that right and bringing that left elbow towards your right knee. Inhale, knees back together, head neutral. Exhale, bending that left knee and straightening through that right as your right elbow comes to the left knee. Inhale, back to center. We're going to do 4 more bicycles on each side. You know what to do. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right. Left. Right. Left. One more each side. Right. Left. And back to center. Hug those knees into your chest for a moment. And then bring your heels to the bottom of the mat. Bring those shoulder blades together. Take a moment as you lay down. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to bring that right knee towards our chest. If it's not comfortable or accessible to bring it straight, you may wish to bring that right knee towards your right armpit a little bit more out to the side. Or if it's more comfortable, more towards the center. Wherever you feel, anywhere in between. Every body is different. Everybody's comfort levels are different. Just taking a moment here in wind relieving pose, knee to chest. Allowing ourselves to wind down. One more breath in here. Then exhale, we're going to lift that left knee so that the left shin is parallel to the ceiling. And then we're going to cross that right ankle over our left thigh. Now maybe you wish to keep here. Maybe you wish to grab behind that left thigh as you draw the left thigh towards your chest. Maybe you wish to bend that left foot towards your glute and grab the outer part of your left shin so that you could use your elbow to prop that right hip open even more as you bring the left thigh towards your chest. Figure 4, stretch. Wherever you are, just make sure you're feeling that nice release in your outer right hip. Find your edge and either meet it or back off of it. There's no need to push yourself. This is not go hard or go home here. This is find your center. Find your ease. One more breath in here. On an exhale, we're going to bring that left shin back parallel to the ceiling, keeping that right ankle on top of the left thigh. And then you're going to bring that right sole of your foot down towards the left side of the mat until the right sole of the foot is planted on the floor, knee pointing to the ceiling. In a figure 4 twist variation. If you need to use your right hand to keep that right leg open, keeping that right knee pointed towards the ceiling, please do. Releasing here, grounding, centering ourselves, breathing deep. One more breath in here. On an exhale, unwind and come back to center, making your way to a comfortable laying down position once again. Shoulder blades back and down. Pull them back again if you need to. Take a deep breath in. On an exhale, now left knee comes to chest. Wind relieving pose on the other side. Releasing now. Allowing that clarity to come to us so that the way forward becomes more obvious, reveals itself. One more breath in here in wind relieving pose. Exhale, bend through that right knee, bringing that right shin parallel to the ceiling. And now we're going to cross that left ankle over that right thigh. And your options, once again, you can take your hands and interlace them behind your right thigh. Maybe you wish to bring that right heel towards your glute as you pull the outer part of your right shin to pull your leg in towards your chest, using your left elbow to press that left hip open. Figure 4 stretch on the other side, releasing through that left hip now. around your edges and soften. Where there might be harshness, ask where you can create ease and gentility. One more deep breath here. Exhale, let go of that right shin or thigh and bring that right shin parallel to the ceiling once again. Keeping your legs in this position, we're going to drop our whole legs over to the right side now, bringing the left sole of the foot towards the right side of the mat and the floor, keeping that left knee pointing towards the ceiling, using your left hand to press that left thigh towards the ceiling if you need to. In this figure 4 reclined twist variation. Deep breaths here. This is our grounding moment. This is our Taurus, Mother Earth welcoming us back into her embrace. One more breath in like this. And then on an exhale, release and make your way into your version of Shavasana. Maybe your left heel comes down to the bottom of the mat, followed by the right. Bring those shoulder blades together. And maybe you wish to have one hand on your belly and one on your heart. Maybe both on the belly, both on the heart. Maybe you wish to have your palms up at your sides. Just find your version of Shavasana where you can be comfortable and tune in for a few moments as I guide you through our first quarter moon meditation. Welcome yourself to your first quarter moon practice, allowing your mind to drop back into the body together from around itself. Those racing thoughts taking you off in different directions, gently drawing them back down into the body, and now letting them breathe and settle, letting the weight of the body increase downwards, drawing your attention to an image of the first quarter moon, the light of which has a circular element as well as a linear one on one side. It has the round curves of the femininity of yin, the Shakti energy. The other side is linear, masculine yang energy, Shiva energy. And so at this time, we've gathered up our creativity, felt into our body, and there's a readiness to move forward. As you breathe here, taking a moment to notice how your body responds when you think about taking actions towards your intentions or dreams. There's no need to judge yourself if feelings of uncertainty or doubt arise. Delving below and beneath these to physical sensations in your body, to elements like tingling, a spreading of warmth, lightness or heaviness dropping down or lifting up. Trusting your body's intuition and deep knowingness. Breathing into these feelings that arise. Sitting with them as if greeting an old friend. Perhaps one that you don't see eye to eye with all the time, but whom you respect and trust. And as you sit here with these feelings and acknowledging them, knowing that they may come along with you on your journey, but that you don't always need to entangle in them, that you can allow them to guide you, to signal to you that that point when you're ready to take a leap. But knowing that taking steps forward is not done blindly. If it is to move you along your path, it's done with an aspect of clarity and focus, an aspect of discernment, and only acting where action is truly needed, rather than just doing for the sake of gathering. Now and again, wandering thoughts coming back to that which you seek to move forward with at this time. With your inhale, allow the breath to move down through the crown of your head. Travel down your spine all the way to your tailbone. Just focusing on your inhale component for the breath now. Seeking to direct the energetic movement down through the spine, drawing scattered energies into a more focused movement. When you feel comfortable with this movement through the inhale, you can add the exhale component energy. Move down through the tailbone, spreading out through the body from this point in a golden circular shape of arc of light, filling your body up. Exhale and the arc of light grows white or golden light, filling the body. Inhale, intention becomes clear, and the energy channels down deep into the body. Exhale, the light expands outward and fills you up with resolve to take action. Now inhale air down through the skull vertebrae to the tailbone, and exhale the golden arc, taking 3 more of these breaths now. Breaths of direction, purpose. Breaths that blossom out into the sense of purpose and action that you seek to move forward with. And then just letting go of that visualization as you allow yourself to bask in bodily sensation again, noticing any transformation that has occurred between those feelings of questioning and considering moving forward, and now any feelings of readiness, purpose, clarity, inspiration. Where in the body has that energy shifted or evolved? And just enjoy that for a few breaths now, welcoming it, becoming familiar. Texture, color, shape, sensations imprinting upon the mind, inviting that familiar friend to walk with you through this next phase that can hold your hand all the way through to the full moon as you take action, as you make choices or do the things that are yours to do and create. Take one more moment basking in those sensations, remembering those intentions, trusting in the way forward. And as you're ready, bring some gentle movement back to your body, wiggling your fingers and toes, turning your elbows and wrists, bending your knees and elbows. Maybe you've done a lot of stretching and you don't want to take a full body stretch, but maybe you want to give yourself a nice tight hug. Or maybe you do want to stretch some more and take a nice full body stretch. As you're ready, take one hand and press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Allow your eyes to come back to your space. If your eyes were closed or had a soft gaze, allow them to flutter open and gently arrive here with me in this moment once again. I wish to thank you for once again joining me in this beautiful Yoga by the Moon community as we practice with this particular first quarter moon, making headway on our intentions and goals together, bringing some heat and groundedness together. I can't wait to practice with the full moon with you once again. From my heart to yours, a humble thank you and a heartfelt namaste.